we see a lot of mainstream news admitting the economic outlook is grim. So, Dr. Roberts, give us your prognosis on that.
Okay, they talk about maybe pushing interest rates up in order to make people a little more comfortable holding dollars, because the whole world understands that you can't have massive creation of money and debt and negative interest rates. And so when they talk about raising interest rates, it's just talk to try to block flight from the dollar. That's all it is, because if they raise the interest rates, the stock market's going to collapse, the bond market's going to collapse. And they've got chaos. When you've spent trillions of dollars to save 4 banks since 2008, these are the banks that deregulation allowed to get too large, and these are banks that gamble. They don't make normal loans. They gamble in a casino, and they don't cover their bets. The taxpayers cover the bets, and the Federal Reserve covers the bets by printing money and buying the bad bets. And that's what American economic policy is. That's what the Fed is locked into. It really has no way to get out of it. It can't get out of it. And it's stuck with it. And because it wouldn't let the banks fail, because the banks control the Fed. Look, who have the secretaries of the Treasury been? It's the former banksters who caused the financial crisis. Every one of them have rotated through the Treasury. So they're protecting their own mistakes. Look at the Fed. What is the Fed? It's the same people. Look at the New York Fed. Who are the directors of the New York Fed? It's the same banks.
Everybody at the Justice Department at the top is part of those lobbying groups and consulting groups that write the regulations and the policies and file the papers to let the big banks get away with the derivatives. I mean, it's just a revolving door.
It's one small group, and they control the economic policy. So how are they going to take a decision that blows up everything they've been trying to do? So they'll keep this going as long as they can. They have everything rigged. It's a house of cards, but it's standing, and it will continue to stand as long as foreign countries are willing to hold the dollar.